Episode 36. Thank you all for listening to episode 35. Pass the effing test. I am Gary here with my co-host.
Bear.
And welcome back from the Wednesday show.
Ryan.
From the Grown Ups Podcast. So the Grown Ups Podcast, check them out on SoundCloud and the iTunes Store. Is that right? Check them out. You guys are on episode 69 yet.
That's like 62, 63, something like that.
We'll probably get to 69 before they do.
Hope
God,
so.
I hope not.
Well, you
Because
figure...
we're celebrating that one in a really big way.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't say it, can you?
I don't know.
Is that the one you kind of were waiting on that you weren't going to say anything about?
We've already picked out the title.
Oh,
It's episode 69, Giggity.
I love that. Well, we can't do that one. Oh, my gosh, that's
like
fantastic. So 69, that would be 7 away for you guys. And for us, this is 36. So 69 is 33 away. That's 16 weeks. So 4 months we will be at episode 69 in 4 months, Bear. So we're looking in April. April, we're going to be on your favorite episode.
I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Episode 69.
God,
We got to get there before April.
That's going to be, what is that going to be? The Bear Saga.
That'll be a good one.
Something related to Bear.
We got plenty of time to come up with a title for that.
Yes, we do. So, Brandon is going to be off. Jake is working again. I don't know how. I didn't know this guy had a job besides when he's doing stuff with me on the side when we do the shows. Not that kind of stuff. When we do the shows, we have a good time. We just did, so this would be a week ago, last Saturday, we did, you were there. What the hell
Five
did you
Finger
do?
Death Punch, Breaking Benjamin, In Flames, and Ashes to New.
Or as Robbie called them, Ashes to Wednesday.
Right.
So
Breaking Benjamin, fantastic concert, though.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, we heard them. They were good. Five Finger sounded good. We did pretty well. We sold a lot of merch that day.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it? They had a Breaking Benjamin signed guitar by all of them, $500. And we sold three of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not bad.
One of them was sold to somebody who bought the guitar during Breaking Benjamin's second song.
And then went back out to the floor. It was standing room only, by the way, so they're mosh pitting.
And he brought the guitar out there?
Yes.
No. I thought
you're
they
talking about
left
somebody else.
the arena. Like they.
Oh, that guy probably left the arena. Another guy grabbed the guitar and went back in with the guitar into the pit.
It's your $500, dude.
Yeah, whatever, right?
Right.
And we've got coming up. Damn, what the hell do I have in February? Luke Combs. He's going to be the first one. He's sold out. And then we've got
Shine Down, Papa Roach.
Shine Down and Papa Roach. That's right.
That'll be a good concert.
That'll be on a Sunday.
I've seen them both a few times. Good, very good concert for both of those.
February 20th. When's the Super Bowl? That's probably on the 3rd, right? So I'm good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. So, as we get into this stuff, of course, thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Give him a follow on Twitter at Songs by Wes. Check him out on Facebook as well, Wes Anderson Music. Thank you to All Wear Clothing, the primary, original, OG sponsor of Over the Line Sports Podcast. Thank you to Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. Give him a call, 419-704-5471. He serves the Toledo and surrounding area and not...
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
The Albuquerque Isotopes. I like it.
Okay.
Also, thank you to Verizon, a true technology business partner who helps local businesses deploy technologies that positively impact operations and can increase revenue for the company. At Verizon, we do not wait for the future, we build it. Go to their website, get in touch with a sales rep in your area. Thanks to PNC in White House. Visit Cassandra at PNC, who will help you with your banking needs, whether it be loans, credit cards, personal banking. She's there to help. Everybody here has been helped. We are all over 800 on the credit score. Beautiful. I know Jake's getting there. I think he's still at 669. He'll be there eventually. Brandon, I don't know where he's at. But give Cassandra a call, 419-877-0634. And then thank you, as always, to Charlie's Dodge. Visit Ben Meyer. Go over there, get you a Dodge truck, get you a Challenger, get you whatever. 2019, those are hot right now. And I think the 2020s are out now. 2020s come out in June. The 2019s have been out since June. So if you want to get in there, check those out. We know Chevy, they're done. They're getting rid of Impalas. They're laying off everybody.
Volts. Yeah.
Way to go, GM. That's why you go get yourself a Dodge.
I don't know your guy, but I have two friends at that dealership that I could plug real quick.
Go ahead, plug them.
Used car sales, Larry Majewski will be happy to put you in a used Dodge Ram. That
would be Jake.
Yeah.
He sold me two over the years, and then the guy who's in charge of the service department is a very old friend of mine. Unfortunately, he roots for the wrong football team. But Stash Novovieski is a heck of a guy. See him.
A heck of a name.
Say that again.
Stash is his first name, last name Novovieski.
So what is
Polish.
he?
Yeah.
Polish, okay.
Yeah, Polish as fuck.
Novovieski.
Yeah. But if for all your parts and service, he will hook you up. Probably one of the best guys I know. So Charlie's Dodge all the way.
So when I'm picturing this, does he have like the long hair? Does he play the
No,
accordion?
not at all.
Does he do any of
He
that?
kind of looks like Urban Meyer,
Really?
to be honest. Yeah.
Does he eat punchkis?
I'm sure he does. at some point
I'm
in time.
Polish. Do I look like I have long hair and play the accordion?
I think you play the accordion.
No, never played the accordion in my life. Can't play
I
the
love
piano.
polka music. I'm gonna throw that out there.
just
I'm not
saying.
Polish, but I love polka
I think
music.
you-
I would believe that about you because we heard your Spotify playlist and it was kind of all over the map.
Dude, I love everything. It depends.
Right.
I have moods for everything. Like and I told you this, when I need to focus or just calm down, I'll listen to opera or classical music. Calms me right down. I can focus on what I'm doing. Polka, energetic, have a good time. It's fun. And then I just love listening to it because Grace will be like, "Is this mariachi?" I'm like, no, but
No.
close.
I mean, in all honesty, I could take like 2 spoonfuls of Life cereal, soggy with milk, chew them up really well, sneeze while eating it, at a map, okay? And I still wouldn't be as all over the map as you are with your fucking picks. I mean, it was just crazy, some of the shit that was coming out. You would go from hardcore gangster rap to a song about how baths are fun, you know? Just right after, with no like really delineation between the two. It
He
just-
didn't even go to skip it either, did
No,
he? He just played
no.
it.
He's like,
But
oh
who-
yeah, my son loves this song.
Who was my number one artist by far, though?
Eminem.
Yeah, it was Eminem. But what was my second, like my backup?
I don't remember.
Was it dance pop?
Oh, it was
like-
dance pop was your number one genre.
Yeah,
which is real
crazy.
fucked up because my number one genre is alternative metal, which makes sense. I listen to a shit ton of metal. My number one artist was Taylor Swift,
Yeah, so we went opposites, kind of.
but I have 2 little girls and I drive them
Yeah,
around.
let's blame it about that.
She put out a hell of a pop album last year, though.
She
Too.
did, I agree.
And I did
Both
go
of them
see
were
her.
really
I
good.
saw her in concert with one of my best friends, who's a security guard, and he maims people for a living. So I will go toe to toe with anyone who wants to give me shit about seeing Taylor Swift or listening to Taylor
Dude,
Swift.
I love Tay Tay.
I
She
do
has
too.
a playlist. She has a playlist on my Spotify.
She's really good at what she does.
Yeah, she's great. She writes all her stuff. She's great. She looks good.
I'm not saying
I'll
I don't
take her
have
money.
weird shit on my Spotify, but Taylor Swift is not there. Now, you might find some Hall & Oates or something.
Oh, God,
I won't,
no.
I won't deny that.
What is that?
She's a rich
You
girl.
make my dream
Yep.
come true.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. There you go. No, but back to the alternative metal really fast before we rip into this wrestling episode. What do you think of Rock on the Range changing to Sonic Music Temple, and are you going to go?
I already bought my tickets.
So
I'm
did I,
going.
just making
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I've only missed one Rock on the Range ever, and it was last year. It's because we had just had a baby. Kind of sucks that
You have
the
a
last,
baby?
Yeah, the last one was the last one, but I already got my tickets for Sonic. I like the lineup. Anybody who's crying about this lineup really needs to go online and look at Chicago Open Air's lineup. They have 2 days. The tickets are about twice the price, and they have maybe a third of the bands.
Okay.
So
I haven't looked up Chicago. I saw one down in Florida, it was Carolina Rebellion. Excuse me, that was the one I looked up.
that's same as
Pretty
that's
much
Danny
similar.
Wimmer too.
Is it? Okay.
He's being
That's why.
sued by AEG right now. They're saying that he basically stole Rockin' the Range out from under them.
I saw that.
No, it's a really good lineup, and a lot of my my favorite band right now and has been for a couple of years is Avatar.
Okay.
So they're there. In this moment's there. I'm
Tom
stoked.
Morello's there.
Tom
Solo.
Morello's there.
Have you seen Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl play?
I've never. They're them and System of a Down are two top 5 bands on my bucket list. So I get to cross them both off this year.
I'm very Foo Fighters. I mean, I was going to go regardless. I'm happy that they announced the lineup before you bought tickets.
Yeah.
Either way, I was going to go. Didn't really matter
because
who
they
was
haven't
there.
done that in last couple of years.
They
You had
haven't.
to
It's
buy
all-
tickets
yeah.
first.
Yep.
And then you didn't know what you were getting.
The only thing I didn't like about it is when they did it. I'm there literally at noon, ready to get my tickets, ready to go. Boom! I'm in like the 4th tier at 12 and 12 seconds. I'm like, what the hell? How does that even
Right.
happen? And I'm buying, of course, 5 tickets because I said, yeah, sure, I can get them for cheap. No,
Right.
it didn't happen.
I
But
bought pre-sale and I still got 2nd tier, and I did pre-sale like at 10 a.m.
And that's the problem is I had the pre-sale. I had them sitting there at the $289, which was I think tier 3, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Just going to go for it.
Yeah.
Had no shot. No shot at all.
Explain the tiers.
Well, so they release them so it's like $189 for the first
cost.
tier. Yeah.
Okay.
And it goes down as people grab them as they come. So
Are they sold out yet?
No, I look at it this way, though. Like, I look at Tier 4 as what the price of the ticket is. Anything less than Tier 4, you got a deal. And when you look at the number of bands over the course of 3 days, you're getting a deal. And I know that, they have two side stages playing where there are two different bands playing at the same time. So you're going to have to make choices. Yep. And sometimes those choices are a bitch.
They are.
But at the same time, you're still, if you wanted to, and you hit it every day, you could see 20 bands in a day, easily. Yeah.
And we map it out. We know who we want to see at each one and know when to go. Some days I don't even want to go until 4 o'clock because no one's going to be there exciting. And then other days I want to be there right when the gates open.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited. I think this Bring Me the Horizon is going to be phenomenal. Chevelle's back. We got to see them 2 years ago. It was absolutely amazing. I'm excited to see Chevelle again. So there'll be some good ones coming.
Bring Me the Horizon's a lot like Bullet for My Valentine, where if you're on the floor for that, and I always go floor, but if you're on the floor for that, your feet might not touch the ground because everyone's so packed in, everyone's all together. You could be actually defying gravity during that set. It's fucking exciting.
Well, the good thing is, I'll tell you both. I've seen System of a Down and Foo Fighters, and because I've sold for both of them too, so I've been paid to work their shows. Foo Fighters, it won't be the same, obviously, when you guys go. And I was at their show in Louisiana when I sold it, and you got to see a majority of the time because, as you know, when you're working merch, when the main goes on, you're done. You could go catch the show for most of it if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Foo Fighters played for 3 hours. Dave Grohl is awesome. He's probably the best human being in rock and roll.
It'll be close to. They'll play for that. I mean, Metallica did it. Red Hot Chili Peppers did it. They're going to play for They'll play for a good amount of time. And Metallica did it, and they even came out and said, we don't give a fuck. We know we're going to be over. We'll pay the fines to the city of. They did not care because we got rained out, and that was the best part. Volbeat played half their set, got rained, and that was 2 years ago, right?
Yes.
That was 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and then James comes out and is like, I don't understand. It's just fucking water.
Yeah. And it was great. And it was just me and my buddy. Everyone went back to the camper like pussies. So we got side stage, I mean, literally right there on the gate. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I couldn't have been in a better spot.
And Volbeat's one of my favorite bands. They always kill it. I'm really excited about this year, though, because there's a couple of bands that I've never seen outside of the big ones with Foo Fighters and but Parkway Drive, I love. I've been listening to them I think I discovered them about 3 years ago, and got really hip to them and have not had a chance to see them live. I'm finally going to get to see them. And Pussy Riot, which not only is a band that's so much fun to say, that's a great fucking band. And they're at Rock on the Range.
Like, compare them to Baby Metal. I listened to Pussy Riot, and I was like, oh my God. And they're not Asian, but
they're Russian.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Hailstorm's probably the best. Has the best drummer in all of metal.
You think we'll get in trouble for that if we name the episode that?
Which?
Pussy Riot?
Pussy Riot?
Russian Pussy Riot?
Russian Pussy Riot.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. That's just me, though.
Remember, we're on Spotify and iTunes now, so.
Russian P Riot.
So I'm excited about the Fever 333, and then also I have gone and seen the Struts as an opening act just to see the Struts because the Struts kill it. Yeah. So I saw the Struts open for a band I didn't care about, and I can't even remember what it was. My girlfriend cared about them though. But
is she going to Rock on the Range?
Yeah, we go,
or whatever it's called. What's it now called?
Dude,
Sonic Temple.
3 days away from our kids and day drinking. Hell yeah, she likes to go.
And I just went back to look again. I forgot Disturbed was playing, and they were there a couple years ago.
Yeah.
An amazing set. It'll be great. Killswitch Engage. It's going to be phenomenal.
They're great.
And Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Totally underrated.
Here's my problem with Killswitch. I used to love Killswitch, and they went back to their original lead singer, Henry Jones, I think was the second lead singer. He's got diabetes and he couldn't tour as much with their schedule. And I don't like the original guy nearly as much as I liked him. And he was kind of like I don't know, it was kind of cool to have him because you don't get a lot of diversity in metal. And here you had a black guy who probably had the best voice in metal, who could scream like no one else could scream. And he's got his own band called Light the Torch, and they're fucking awesome. But Killswitch is not nearly as good without him.
Okay. Be interesting.
I'm sorry, this is a wrestling podcast, right?
No, it's okay. We're fine here. And since you brought that up, it just reminded me of something else, and I had to pull this back up because I was laughing so hard when I read it. For every cigarette you smoke, God takes away an hour of your life and gives it to Keith Richards.
Jesus.
I totally agree with that.
And I've seen the Stones. Okay.
So have we.
We worked
the Stones.
Yeah.
I've worked them 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be saying that. They were big in the 60s and 70s. I saw them in like 2015.
Same.
I shouldn't.
Did you see them in Columbus?
Detroit, Comerica.
Where did we sell them at? We sold
Indianapolis.
them at
We worked
and I sold them in
on the
Kansas
4th of
City
July.
too. Yeah, I sold both of those.
Okay, last thing too before we get into this, just last comment.
Yep.
Lamb of God's coming back. That was the first crowd surf mosh pit I've ever been in. That was my first crowd surf was Lamb of God.
I love Randy Blythe. He is like 45, 50 years old. He still sounds the same after all these years.
Right.
You cannot hear Redneck enough times as a metal fan live. It's insane. I do want to say this. They have a comedy tent. Have you looked at who's in the
Andrew
comedy
Dice
tent?
Clay.
Fucking Andrew Dice Clay.
Pauly Shore.
Yep. That's
Unreal.
insane.
Andrew Dice Clay, though, before I haven't seen the comedy, I will go see him. Like, I will stand in line. He is...
I've done it once. Brian Posehn was there one year, and I had to see Brian. But other than that, I just kind of avoid the comedy tent.
Fuck Pauly Shore, by the way. Don't care.
Andrew
Dice Clay, like one of the best comics of the late 80s. I mean, I'm going to go see him.
I might go see Henry Rollins just because he's Henry Rollins, and I like him as an actor more than I do as a comedian.
What is he? Because I can't place the face.
He did a
familiar.
really good movie. He does a lot of spoken word stuff, but he did a really good movie if you're watching Netflix called He Never Died, and it's basically the story of Cain from the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He's Cain, and he's, in the book of Genesis, he's damned to walk the earth as the first murderer.
Okay.
He's still walking the earth.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's pissed at God.
And what was that called?
He Never Died.
He Never Died.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that
It's
up.
been on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but if you have a jailbroken Fire Stick, have at it. Enjoy your day.
We're not promoting or condoning illegal content. But anyway.
But that's a perfect segue saying Kane right into wrestling.
I am Kane. I got a few things. I want you to find that thing that Brandon sent us that Cody Rhodes tweeted back to somebody, which I thought was fantastic.
What is Glenn Jacobs' job now, though?
He's the mayor of
Knoxville?
Knox County.
Or Knox County?
Knox County.
Which includes Knoxville.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's the mayor
That's
of that.
fucking huge. It's like the second largest city in Tennessee.
It's great. And I have a quote here from Chris Jericho. This is from back in the day, just because I want to remind you, and because you have something that's coming up, and I do have 2 comments about it. So give yours first. What did Cody Rhodes say? What did somebody say to Cody Rhodes and Cody say back?
Okay, so they were talking something on Twitter. I don't know the whole conversation, but the guy at BlessedCurse17, most importantly, quote unquote, professional wrestling is fake. And Cody Rhodes tweeted him back and said, Christian Bale wasn't actually Batman, but no human being was ever so fucking flat out stupid that they needed to say it out loud.
Fun fact
Next.
that I saw today, though, while you mentioned that. You know who did meet Christian Bale and thought he was Bruce Wayne?
Christian
This
Bale?
is no joke. Our current president, Donald Trump, thought Christian Bale was Bruce Wayne.
Nothing about that surprises me.
Nothing. So this quote from Chris Jericho about fake. So I thought this was very good when you're talking in terms of wrestling. Fake is not a word I like to use because there's nothing fake about what I do. It's a show. It's a predetermined outcome. We're putting on a television drama, action comedy, whatever you want to call it, but it's not fake. Fake would be if I was just about to take a body slam and my stuntman did it. Fake would be if I was going to take a chair shot to the head and the chair was made of rubber. I'll tell the world that it's a show, but I hate the word fake. It's such an unfair term to us. Totally agree.
Absolutely, 100%.
I mean, it's still athletic at the end of the day. There's nothing fake about it at all.
And
yes, the storyline isn't
Yeah.
real, but it's a movie. It's a TV show. It's a drama. It's a male soap opera.
And I know you're kind of away from wrestling now, but I could pull you back in a little bit. Jericho had his first cruise that he put together, which was
you wanted to go on this.
Dude, it was so cheap. It was stupid cheap to go on this. It was a Chris Jericho Rock and Rager or whatever. And they were the headliners, of course. But you had Mick Foley was on there, did his stand-up about the 20 years, went from Hell in a Cell. He did that. Jerry Lawler was on it. JR was on it. DDP was on it. All these guys were doing stuff. There were other bands on it, like the Cherry Bombs were on there. There was a few other bands I don't remember, but the promotions is what got me. Part of New Japan was there. Mm-hmm. Impact Wrestling was there. Ring of Honor was there. It was insane what he was able to pull together with this.
Isn't DDP like doing like a lot of
yoga.
New Life? Yeah.
Oh, dude,
health cleanse.
it's insane.
Yeah.
He's like what he's done for people is absolutely incredible.
I saw him try to get Jake the Snake clean.
And he did.
Yeah.
And he did that with Scott Hall, too. They both look great. And
Yeah.
it's amazing what he's been able to do. And Brandon from the show, he does DDP yoga and he swears by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Jericho swears by it. And I can see that. The guy's 48 years old, but he's prime condition.
No, he looks the same.
Yeah.
He hasn't aged at all. He's a vampire.
And he,
It's
right
like
now.
Pharrell.
And he's doing yes. He is doing New Japan stuff right now, and he's going to be at the Tokyo Dome in January, which is that's a Chris Jericho thing. He can do whatever he wants.
Going back to fake, though, you guys are definitely more immersed in this world than I have been for some time.
Right.
Do you run into people that don't understand that it's a show, that actually think,
It's real.
yeah,
Not anymore. I think it's pretty well known that it's staged and it's entertainment. But you'll get your fans out there. And usually, I work with individuals with disabilities. Our company does. We're the largest in the state at what we do for Voc Rehab. Most of the time, I see people with disabilities, and it's more along the autism spectrum or anywhere else, that they really buy into it and believe. And I don't blame them. You look at John Cena, who's one of the greatest human beings alive when it comes to Make-A-Wish Foundation. He's over 500 now, isn't he? He's over 500 wishes.
Yeah,
granted. He's number one.
He's number one. He's top.
He's number one requested, and he never turns down a wish, which is amazing.
Wow.
So they think it's real.
that's impressive.
Yeah, he never turns anything down. The guy's
I'm not
incredible.
surprised by that because you see him in film and you know that he just, whatever it takes to make people happy, that's what he wants to do.
Except if it's Nikki Bella. He obviously didn't do what he needed to do to make her happy.
I heard about that.
Yeah. But she's out, slanging and banging whatever, and who knows what he's doing.
The same.
Well, he's in China now. He lives with Jackie Chan as he's filming over there. So he grew out his hair. He's got long hair now. So,
Cena does?
Yeah, he's living with Jackie Chan as he's
That's
getting ready
hilarious.
for his movie. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What are they doing? Rush Hour 7?
They might be. Chris Tucker's by. I watched Friday last night when I was in the office, so it was pretty good. I was sitting in the office in the house last night and trying to get stuff done. It was 2 a.m, and I was like, I couldn't fall asleep. I fell asleep at 3 o'clock, and I ended up waking up at like 4:45. Like, I hate my life, and I've been up since. So, it'll be nice to go home, leave the ex-wife's house. Thank God she hasn't come out today, but it'll be okay. Moving on. So we got into a lot of stuff that we really didn't intend to, but the Rock stuff is fun to talk about. And what are you excited about over there on this Saturday morning?
Nothing.
No, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just like to pump my fist randomly on Saturday mornings, kind of like Jersey Shore back in the day. And I hated that show, by the way.
Never saw an episode in my life.
Good for you.
So you know who Snooki is, though.
I know who they all are.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm aware. I mean, I'm assuming most of them have some sort of venereal disease they haven't identified yet.
Nice. Oh, it is what it is, man. It's Jersey Shore. Ex-wife liked to watch that garbage, but she falls into that category.
I
She
have
is
yet
trash.
to meet a guy who said, "Yeah, that's my shit." But
Brandon.
Kenny.
Oh yeah, Kenny did
Yeah,
like
he
that.
loved that shit. It was embarrassing.
But I
He'd
know
have
a lot
parties.
of women in their 20s and 30s, early 30s, they love Jersey Shore. That's they grew up with. Those were the high school and college years.
Oh, that was ex-wife straight up. She's into that trash. She's just like him. So it is what it is. So Justin on the Twitter, we'll get into that. So you will appreciate this, Ryan. Mick Foley, who we're going to talk about and we're going to see in a match we watched.
One of my
in a
all-time
little bit.
favorites.
And that's what he said. My all-time favorite wrestler. Who is your favorite persona of his and why?
Of Foley's?
Yes.
Well, you got 3. You got Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. And if you pick Dude Love, you're an idiot. Cactus Jack has these moments, and I think if you're a Terry Funk fan, you're probably a Cactus
bang.
Jack fan. But Mick Foley as Mankind is, I really think that he tapped into something special with that. Like when he's in the boiler room in the fetal position talking to his mommy, and he hurt me, mommy, he hurt me bad. You really feel like there's a part of him that just kind of believes that. And then when I've actually met Mick before, and he's super, super nice guy, and I don't think he could be any further away from Mankind as a person than he is, but he just was able to, I don't know. I bought it when he put the mask on, and I know that's not who he is at all, but he played that so well, so much better than Cactus Jack, who's supposed to be, this Western gunslinging or Texas gunsling. That's not him. I bought him much more as a kid who got real fucked up as a kid and lived in the boiler room and just,
No, he was absolutely fucking insane, and I agree.
Yeah.
Mankind, and we're going to be watching that match, Mankind and HBK, from In Your House Mind Games, which was In Your House 10 from 1996. That's what we're going to be watching here shortly, and I might just start it because the openings takes a while.
Yep.
Paul Bearer is his manager. So we're going to cover all this stuff.
casket.
He's got to come out with a casket. You'll see all this stuff. And what we'll do, since you haven't seen this, Ryan, is we watch a match from the card we are covering.
okay.
And then we'll watch it. We'll kind of commentate on it and watch as we are doing our other stuff. So before we start that, I also agree, Mankind, special. Hell in a Cell, the Boiler Room stuff, anything with Kane, anything with Taker. Sacco.
Sacco's a camel clutch. It's not a new move. And
Right.
at the same time, he did something so different with it.
And he was good with he had spots with Taker, Kane, Paul Bearer, Rock,
Austin.
Rock and Sock Connection, Austin, everybody. He
you
was
remember-
just
Vince, everybody.
Yes.
Do you remember the empty arena match with The Rock?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was halftime heat for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, The Rock told him he looked like 10 pounds of monkey crap in a 5-pound bag. That was a great match.
And The Rock and we're going to talk about The Rock a little bit later, but what do you think, Bear?
And no, I totally agree with both of you guys. Mankind, absolutely the top. His promos were amazing. I wholeheartedly agree with everything Ryan said. Very believable. When I was a kid, I was scared just a shit of him. More scared than Kane, more scared of The Undertaker, because it was like, this dude's nuts. He's crazy.
Insane.
And then I go back and I watch it now when I'm older, and I still think the same thing. I go, that's phenomenal. Like, he plays someone who's nuts, and it is totally believable. Absolutely amazing, and had amazing matches for a bigger guy who didn't move around that well.
No, and I think probably in his real life, Mick Foley and Dude Love are much more similar in terms of their personalities. And that character is much more who he is as a person.
Do you remember when he came out in the Royal Rumble as all three guys?
All three?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
Awesome.
But so yes, Justin, thank you for the question, and because I know Mick Foley is his favorite of all time and yours as well. So it was a perfect time that he brought that up.
I have pictures with him, and I have a couple of signed books with him.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Have a nice day.
have a nice day.
That's how he signed both of his books that
Did
I
he?
had autographed. Yeah, have a nice day.
It's a lot to write. And did he sign it Mick or Mick Foley or?
I believe Mick Foley. I'll look at. I have him in a box. I still haven't unpacked from my move.
So-
almost 2 years ago.
If you were to rate his daughter Noelle on a scale of 1 to 10,
I can't, and here's why. I was in college when Beyond the Mat came out in theaters. I watched it twice at the movie theater in one day.
Interesting.
And the scene of Dewey and Noelle crying during one of his matches, she's a little girl, And so when I think of Noelle, I think of that little girl. It's like saying that the Olsen twins are hot for me. I grew up seeing them as Michelle from Full House. I can't look at them the way they are now. And I know they're in their probably late 20s at this point.
they're older than me. They're 31,
Yeah.
32.
Okay.
And
So yeah, I can't.
They're
I-
close. They're close to the age
I
of your
couldn't.
girlfriend.
I couldn't find them attractive because I still see them as Michelle Tanner.
Yeah.
And I see Noelle as the little girl who was crying at her dad's
I don't
match.
remember Beyond the Mat, but I did see it later on.
I watch it
I
at
don't
least
think-
once a year.
If you had to rate her 1 to 10,
8.
8. What about New York? 6.
New York. Nah, she'd probably. I mean, you got to think she's trying to get into wrestling, so she'd be like a New York 7 and 7.3.
Yeah, I like it.
Pretty solid. I mean, from Mick Foley, he has a beautiful wife, obviously.
gorgeous.
And
Yeah.
you see him, and it's like,
What the hell?
And here's the thing: he got with her before he became anybody.
Yeah.
She loves him for him.
his personality.
Right.
I could
I mean,
totally
yeah, I
imagine
could see
that.
that too. His
100% of
personality.
it.
It's not about the
amazing.
money at all
It's
for
not
her.
about the looks, money,
No,
and that's good.
And if you read his books, I mean, he's so into her, and they're such a super family-oriented family. They go to this Christmas theme park every year because that's his shit. Christmas,
Cool.
I
Yeah,
love when he
right
played
around-
Santa, by the way.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, fantastic.
He's like the most wholesome guy you could ever meet in wrestling,
Right.
hands down. And his wife has been with him through everything, and she helps him. She ties his shoes for him every day,
Yep.
because he can't do that.
Brandon would need that, but
And
he
it's
buys Velcro shoes.
and it's sad because all the shit he put his body through, she'll probably be pushing him around in a wheelchair one day. I'm surprised he's still walking, and that's nothing against Mick at all. It's just what he's put his body. I mean, you watch him walk; it's so hard. He walks like he's an 80-year-old man.
He does, and he's always said that he believes wrestling wise, strength wise, he was never that guy. his body was always built to kind of absorb pain.
Yep.
And so that's the kind of wrestler he became.
And as we are starting to talk about other things, I'm going to actually start this match so that we can see it.
Do you want me to start with TLC this weekend?
Well, I'm going to start with the Raw recap as we lead into this.
Oh, man, that's the third thing on this agenda.
Yeah, I know. We're going to run through this pretty quick. So Raw was actually really good how it opened. I don't know if you saw that. So Heath Slater, as we talked about before last week, beat Rhino. Rhino is now not a quote-unquote wrestler, and Heath Slater got to keep his job. He's a referee, basically. He's a bitch for the man, which would be Corbin, which is garbage. But the fun thing about it is, if you've seen it, kind of played along with it, Seth Rollins came out basically, and I'll quote him. He said, and when you think about this, kind of people are kind of pissed off with Raw and how it's been going, and they're not happy with it. So he basically called him out and said, and like I said, I will quote, "Under your leadership, Monday Night Raw has sucked, and it has sucked because of you." And you want to call Corbin his reign an abject failure and dismissive, saying Raw is my show, and if you don't like it, that's too bad. If you think it's bad now, it's only going to get worse for a guy like you. It's been kind of trash. Nobody's really liked it. You had a tag team championship match. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable beat AOP and with Drake Maverick to win the titles back. So that's kind of something, or to win the titles, I should say. And that hasn't really happened. Titles don't usually change on Raw, so they are the champs. Natalya and Ruby Riott went in on TLC. Dolph Ziggler beat Drew McIntyre via pinfall. Bayley beat Alicia Fox via pinfall. Leo Rush beat Elias via pinfall. There was a lot of involvement there because Slater's debut as a Raw referee, and he has to help Corbin. Rousey and Nia Jax kind of went through their whole thing, and then Ember Moon defeated Tamina Snuka via pinfall. So it kind of led into some of the things that's going to happen with TLC. It was a okay show, but again, nobody's really liked Raw. SmackDown's been kind of the thing lately for people, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. So, for example, on SmackDown, Asuka beat Charlotte Flair, but it was via DQ. Daniel Bryan had some welcoming. He's really playing the heel strongly now, and Mustafa Ali came out and talked to him and kind of fed into him, but he beat him in a match via submission. It was a good match. I actually enjoyed it. It could have been better. There was a rap battle between The Bar, and they were dressed like Run DMC, and The Bar, I don't know if you know who they are. It's Cesaro and Sheamus, if you know who they are.
I know who Sheamus is. Yeah,
Cesaro, he's a fun guy. They just kind of wasted him, but he's fun with Sheamus. And the Usos were facing off with New Day, who were judging it, so they were in like tuxedos. The Bar came in and knocked them out. And that was
I like New Day.
Right. Shane McMahon and The Miz, they beat Chip and Chad via submission. The match happened because Miz said it would happen, and McMahon didn't know it, and Chip and Chad thought they were going to get paid for it. They didn't because they, went through. Shane, on Real Life, as we talk about Real Life, he did not do good in this. So they won the match. He had a terrible triangle choke. I don't know if you saw it. It looked awful, and he botched a DDT. That is not a good thing you want to botch.
No.
So,
concussion. That has concussion written all over it.
Right. And then Mysterio got some revenge on Orton later on, and he took a 619 to the face, and that was part of what happened. And then Rusev and Jeff Hardy beat Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe via pinfall. Hardy and Joe on the outside. Nakamura went for the Kinshasa on Rusev, but was met with a Machka kick instead, and so for the pinfall. So that leads us into what we talk about with TLC. So we can kind of talk about TLC. I'll preview our stuff. So Bear is sitting at 29-16-1. I am sitting at 30-15-1. Brandon is at 23-22-1, and Jake is at 12-5. I am going to have to, since we got until tomorrow and Brandon didn't send me anything, I'm going to have to get his picks, and I'll make sure I get his picks so that when we're going into this, we will be okay. And like I said, we're going to start this Shawn Michaels and Mankind match. As it starts, you'll be able to watch and follow through and see kind of the caskets coming. So the first match we got here is it's for the Mixed Match Challenge. So the winners, it's men versus women. The winners of this are men and women versus each other, so to speak. So whoever wins this match There's a men's and women's Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble. They will both enter at number 30, whatever team wins. So you've got Mahalika, which is Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox, versus the Fabulous Truth, R-Truth, and Carmella.
I can see Jinder Mahal being number 30 in the Rumble, so I'm going to take him and Alicia Fox.
Sure. We'll go with that. Go the other way for me. Fabulous Truth. Give me R-Truth and Carmella.
Okay.
Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre.
I know you said McIntyre's been getting a little bit of a push here, but I'm going to go with Finn in this one.
You? You don't even know who they are.
No, let's go with Drew McIntyre.
I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre as well. He continues his push. Elias versus Bobby Lashley. This is a ladder match.
I know who Bobby Lashley is.
There you go.
With a guitar suspended above the ring. First to get it can use it as a weapon.
Give me Elias. Lashley will get to the guitar first. Miss. Elias will take care of him.
I'm going to go with Elias as well because Lashley has no personality yet.
It still doesn't.
They got to develop him another couple of months before they let him do anything or get anything.
Here's Mankind out of the casket.
Coming out of the casket, I love it. Right into Shawn Michaels' pyro.
Yeah.
Soon to be pyro, at least.
Soon to be high.
Elias.
You know what I think of when I see In Your House? Lucha House Party. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Lucha House Party is
Bobby Lashley reminds me of Lesnar when he first came out. I mean, he had to have Paul Heyman because the guy couldn't do an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And he's just gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he has
Muscles on
Leo
muscles.
Rush because he has Leo Rush as his mouthpiece. Now look at he's hugging the urn.
Hugging the urn, cradling it right in the middle. Love it.
Paul Bear, Percy Pringle.
I like Mankind better when he had like the shirt and tie, not the all brown outfit.
Yeah.
That was great when he was under Vince. That was fantastic.
And he had shirt and tie for a while.
Elias and Lashley. Gary, I need your pick.
Elias.
Okay.
The Bar, who are the champs, versus New Day versus the Usos. Triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
I like the Bar, and that's the actual place I go to drink, so I'm taking the Bar.
I like New Day. They're
That's
fun.
what I'd say.
They're fun to watch.
Give me the Bar as well. Next, Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match. We're going to turn this up a little bit so we can hear some Shawn Michaels.
Ruby Riott isn't the biggest, so I think Natalya puts it through a table.
See with Jose Lothario,
Yep.
who won a match on this card earlier,
Yes, he
by the
did.
way.
Against Cornette, which was terrible.
Right. Who'd you take?
Natalya.
You were taking?
Same.
I'm taking Ruby Riott.
Okay.
She got the whole Riot Squad with her. They're going to put her through a table. Buddy Murphy, the champ, who I envy because he gets to have fun with Alexa Bliss, versus Cedric Alexander, singles match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
I feel like they've fought like a million times.
I agree.
Give me Buddy Murphy to retain.
I don't think there's going to be much in the way of a title switch at such a. What's the name of this pay-per-view?
Tables,
Tables,
ladders,
ladders, and
chairs.
chairs.
Yeah,
TLC.
they're not going to switch titles at this one. They're going to wait for down the road. So, yeah. Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy as well. Next, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match.
Ugh. Oh God. Give me Orton. I don't even know why or care.
I love Rey Mysterio, but they always fuck him over. So Randy Orton.
Yeah, they do always fuck him over, I agree. And I'm going to take Rey Mysterio for this reason. Orton's kind of had his number the past several weeks. Give me Rey Mysterio. Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champ, versus Dean Ambrose. Singles match for the IC Intercontinental Championship. IC is the Intercontinental Championship. This will probably be, aside from the triple threat match we're going to talk about later, the match of the night.
I agree. I think this will be the only title change on the card here, so I'm going to go with Ambrose.
This is one of two I have on mine. I am also taking Ambrose.
So I'm going to stick with this. They won't change titles.
Okay.
Not during this pay-per-view.
All right. Like I said, Ambrose here. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. So it's a TLC match. If Strowman wins, he will get a Universal Championship match at Royal Rumble, and Corbin will be stripped of all of his authoritative power. If Corbin wins, he will become full-time general manager of Raw.
I'm going to take Strowman. I could see him. God, that's a
Wow,
wonderful
that clothesline
clothesline
was
over the top rope.
Epic.
Fantastic. Give me Strowman. I think he'll get his title shot and lose again at the Rumble.
Shawn could sell like no other. Remember when they had those metal? Like, I was at a lot of those shows.
Well, look at that. I mean, look at the pads, too, that Mankind's about to rip up right now to this concrete floor that they're about to go on.
Oh,
look at that
God.
drop kick. That was
Drop kick.
awesome. He can't even see it coming, you know?
Yeah, and he just stepped.
It's fantastic. Actually, a little bit later in this match, I can't remember when it is, but I think Mankind misses a spot and Shawn gets pissed. You'll see it. I'll bring it up. I watched this the other night. But yeah, give me Strowman in this.
I did not watch. I watched everything but this. Yes, Strowman as well. I think it's going to be a squash match because he's coming back from the elbow surgery. They're not going to let him do much, so he's just going to squash the shit out of Corbin.
Yep.
Sure, let's go with that.
All right. Braun Strowman's that guy next to the blonde, pink-haired chick. He's on the left, the bearded fellow.
Yeah.
Very large.
Yes. Next, Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, versus Nia Jax.
She ain't losing that title. They'll go to WrestleMania with it.
Agreed.
She puts asses in seats. She's going to be the champ. Stay the champ.
There you go.
Exactly. Next, Daniel Bryan, the WWE Champion, versus AJ Styles.
This is going to be a bullshit finish, DQ, flop finish. Styles is going to win the match, but it's going to be a DQ. Bryan will keep the belt.
So Bryan, you're saying AJ wins?
I'm saying he wins by like disqualification or something. Daniel Bryan keeps the belt because this isn't a TLC match, is it? Just a singles match.
Right.
Yeah. So Styles wins by some sort of bullshit. So Bryan keeps the belt.
I think Bryan wins, but cheats to win.
What's all over the ring right now? What's all the glitter?
Oh, that was gold dust.
Yeah, he faced Undertaker.
So that's gold dust from gold dust.
Yes.
Still later on, they can't clean the ring between matches.
They don't do that now.
Sean probably likes
it.
Look, he's all glittery now. He probably enjoys that shit.
Because he's gonna go, spit it all on Sunny later.
I was about to say, pound it out there in the mirror.
Pound it out. Here we go. Sweet chin music, man. He just dives out of the ring.
That looks like it hurt. There he goes.
Starts rocking. There we go.
Rocking on the floor. Needs the urn. Needs the urn for power.
Absolutely nuts. All right. What do you think? Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles.
For the championship, he's going to keep the title.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Becky Lynch, who's the champ, who, by the way, is the greatest thing holding SmackDown together. And against Charlotte, against Asuka in a TLC match, probably the match of the night. Hopefully it's the main. And for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I agree. I do think this will be match of the night. I think Becky Lynch comes back out with her title. Like you said, there'll only be one title change. It'll be the IC, Becky Lynch.
I am going to go Asuka. I think Asuka pulls this title to kind of steer for Charlotte and Becky going after Ronda, which I think will be the main event at WrestleMania, those three. It should be.
That would be fun.
That would be great. And hopefully it leads that way, because hopefully...
That was it. This is it. That's the missed spot. That's what it was. Yeah. He's supposed to go jump on him in the corner, and Shawn gets pissed. I knew it was in there somewhere. That was good. This is when Shawn was top shit, and he was pissed off at everybody. So.
Well, they said that... What did they say? That Shawn was the only person that could say and do whatever he wanted to Vince at all times.
Yep.
Ever.
And he did that. There's a couple matches, I can't remember what other pay-per-view it is. He has one with Vader as well where he misses a spot and he just literally yelling at him in the middle of the ring, just like he did there. Mankind thought he was going to the other corner. He missed the spot. Shawn just goes over and just starts yelling at him, and then I think Mankind hit him with a little slap, and it looked like Shawn got him back pretty good. Now they're back in the match. It was it was 30 seconds. Now they're back. Oh,
that's kind of like if you remember some of the missed stuff where Brock and Braun caught Brock on accident. Brock popped him. He's like, all right, bitch, if you're going to miss this, I'm going to pop your ass.
What's crazy about this is I was looking at the entire, event, and the very top of the card is Triple H versus Jake Roberts for the...
And that was a dark match. Yeah. So you don't see that on
It's not even on the in-your
house. No. So you don't see it. It's a dark match, and Jake the Snake beat Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's when he first came over. Right. And another one was Farouk, who had Sonny with, beat Mark Marrow, who was married to Sable, which is now Brock Lesnar's wife. Another one was Psycho Sid, beat Vader with Jim Cornette.
I don't know that I ever saw Vader win a match.
He did.
Growing up, or when I was watching in college, I don't remember Vader winning anything ever.
He just always fought Shawn Michaels, so he was screwed.
Isn't he like he's like
dead.
an investment banker?
Well, he's
he was
dead.
in real life.
Well, he wrestled until he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one was Savio Vega beat Marty Jannetty. At this point, he hadn't lost. And then you get to the main show, so you had Savio Vega fight Justin Hawk Bradshaw with Uncle Zebediah.
His leg off the... Oh, God. His leg off the freaking steel stairs, man. That would just hurt like a bitch.
That is so this was a Caribbean strap match with Harvey Whippleman, or Bear, as Brandon calls you, as the special guest referee. What'd you think of that match?
I mean, he
JBL was when JBL first came in.
And if you actually watch that, I think
I did.
This is on one of Bruce and Conrad's podcasts. He didn't know that ECW in front, like that was supposed to be a ploy to get him in. If you remember that, they spit. I think Sandman spit beer on Savio Vega.
Yeah.
Bradshaw didn't know. They said he was going to go over there and whoop his ass. Like he was legit. He had like everyone else knew, and they said someone didn't tell him. Savio had to get him away with the strap because he was literally going to go over and physically start beating the shit out of him because he didn't know. He thought it was just ECW people just being assholes, so he was going to go whoop their ass. You know, Bradshaw, he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, and
you wouldn't want to mess with him.
He was huge then, a lot bigger than he was later on.
You wouldn't want to mess with him.
No, you don't want to piss him off. Remember what I said? One of the things we talked about, ECW One Night Stand, which is one of the first pay-per-views we covered, was amazing because I sat there and watched the whole thing because Bear said, this is my favorite pay-per-view. You must watch this. So I watched it, and my favorite thing is JBL says, I bought a ticket, you little Mexican. Talking to Rey Mysterio.
It's fantastic.
They talk so much shit, like Heyman talking to Bischoff. So great.
You know what? The one thing with Bradshaw, though, that I think went on way too long, they should have just renamed it or rebranded it. When he and Farouk were the Acolytes, and then they became the Acolyte Protection Agency, the APA,
right?
It was completely disassociated with Undertaker at that point. Just become something else. Leave Acolyte out of it. Be whatever it is you are. They're smoking cigars, playing poker, drinking beer in the back room. You know, completely separate from where that all started from with the Acolytes. I don't know why the WWE wasn't creative enough to put something else in there for that tag team name.
Because it's do your Vince.
Well, I can't on that one. Oh, fuck, I don't even know.
So if you were Vince talking about why you stuck with APA.
God damn it, the APA works. Makes money. Stay with it. Don't have to change it.
Love it.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah.
That's what he would say. And if you, by the way, we listened to, I don't know, I think you might have heard part of it with me. I can't remember if you have or not. Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, who was Brother Love. Awesome show with Conrad. And Conrad is basically the host, and he does 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff. Mm-hmm. He does What Happened When with Tony Schiavone from WCW. And then he does Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Awesome stuff. He missed that completely.
Yep. He sold it well, though.
But he did sell it. That's okay, which was a drop kick to the knee. And now he looks like he's just going to bend the knee a little bit, kind of set up for that. Yep, just bend it. He was set up for the figure four, kind of, but is what it is. You have in here, we already went through that, so let's talk about some of these other matches. So Savio Vega won that match, and he just followed
and then jumped
Bradshaw and then jumped over him for the last corner. Jose Lothario fought in a 56-second match with Cornette.
That was terrible.
Awful match.
Next. That was bad.
Tag team match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. You had Billy and Bart, the smoking guns with Sonny. It was kind of you could see the writing on the wall. The storytelling then was so cheesy.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Billy's so distracted by Sonny, and Bart's like, dude, Billy, get your head out of your ass. And then Owen and British Bulldog were the faces here.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize. And Stone Cold came out and cut a promo, which I loved. And, Stone Cold Steve Austin basically, fuck you, Bret Hart. I'll kick your ass and all that shit. And Owen, still the King of Hearts, was so fun to watch. I loved Owen. Owen
was great.
When they had cut, and they won the titles here. And that was a really good match. It was actually the second to longest match on the card outside of this match that we're currently watching, Mankind and HBK. And
so this is 1996, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Back when Sonny was like
sexy.
A name and attractive and stuff.
Oh my God!
She made like an adult film literally 4 years ago.
Awful.
Something like that.
It's awful,
right?
Yep.
No, I've seen it. And she looks like
Me too.
She looks like somebody's mother or mother-in-law at
she's
the
like,
trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad. I kind of feel bad for her. Does she need the money that badly? Do we need a GoFundMe for Sonny?
Have you seen, and Shawn was the one that was porking her back in the day. Have you seen his wife?
No, I don't care.
I think a lot of people probably were porking her back in the day.
Oh,
Allegedly
probably.
Brett was, and she was with Chris Candido.
If you read any, like, have you read China's memoir, Johnny Lauer's? She talks about everything that goes on back there. And I mean, in the 90s, it was just, that's what it was.
Everything. Yeah. And they admit to that. And, Shawn, if you see, obviously he's a born-again Christian, and I think you stick by this because you can see he's a completely different human being.
Right.
And he is,
Mankind trying to get feeling back into his knee there.
Yeah, and Shawn was just a dick, and it's just funny to see how he is now. But he is married to, what was her name?
She was a Nitro girl.
She was a Nitro girl. Rebecca is her name.
Yeah.
Rebecca Hickenbottom now. And Whisper, maybe, was her name. She is good
Probably.
looking. She's very good looking. And now he lives in Florida. He was in San Antonio forever. That's where his home was. Now he's in Florida. But just to go back into this, so Owen, fun to watch. Bulldog, they had good chemistry as a tag team, and they got the tag titles. Yep. It was a okay match. Sonny quit after the match.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember if it was before this or after this where you saw Razor and Diesel in the back.
Yeah, beating up Savio, I think, right?
Razor Ramon.
But it was fake Razor and fake Diesel
And
because
that's
at
when
this
JR
point.
was bringing them back because they went to WCW.
Isn't Glenn Jacobs fake Diesel?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that was before he was
Before
Kane.
Kane, yep.
This is a year before Kane.
Do you remember when he was Dr. Isaac Yankem?
Yes,
Yep, that's what I was
DDS,
saying before
Jerry Lawler's dentist.
Great.
Yes, they showed that, and you're like, oh, this was September, I believe, right? Was
Yeah,
this September
this was
of '96?
September, yeah.
So this is 3 months or 2 months after the whole they left to go to WCW,
So
Yeah, that was after Bash
I'm
and Beach,
glad-
the turn.
right?
I'm glad you brought up Sean Higginbottom. What wrestler do you think has the most unfortunate real name?
Well, he's Michael Hickenbottom.
Michael, that's it.
Yep, Sean Hickenbottom, I think is his name. Paul Levesque, Phil Brooks.
Isn't it Jean Paul?
No, his name's Paul Levesque. That was his. That was one of his.
yeah, one of
his
his-
personas when
yeah,
he came to
gotcha.
when he came to WWF. He said Ric Flair basically told him, "You're going to be a French guy," because his name was Terror Rising
Yeah.
in WCW. Check out his thing on the network. I can give you the credentials. His Thy Kingdom Come, awesome.
Okay.
About how he came up, like that he has been married to the business since he came up. Like he would go
Since
to
he was like a teenager.
right.
Yeah.
He would go to WCW Power Plant. He was a main guy, and he would still go to that all the time because he wanted to learn.
Yep.
And Flair basically told him, "You're going to be a French guy. Your name's going to be John Paul. Your name's Levesque, right?" And he's like, "Levesque? Yeah, that's it." And he's like, "Whoa, what about the voice?" He's like, that's you. You come up with it. So he became John Paul Levesque, had broken English, and his real name is Paul Levesque. But back to your thing. Unfortunate names. Oh, gosh, I would have to think about that. Dwayne Johnson, no, that's kind of... Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea is kind of lame.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but
Everybody knows him as Hulk.
Exactly. You can't beat Hulk Hogan, so any name besides that would be lame.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now, his is
that's
badass.
That's a powerful name.
Yeah, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's a badass name. I don't know. What do you got? Unfortunate names.
That's why I asked you.
Oh, Michael
What is,
Hickenbottom.
No, that's a bad one. Paul Bearer's real name.
Percy Pring. We had this discussion.
Yes.
That's not his real name, though. That's one of his other states. It's like Mike Knox.
Oh.
Is his actual name.
Yeah,
Percy
'cause
Pringle is
Percy's Pringle's
another
terrible.
wrestling name. We have
Undertaker's Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
Colby Lopez.
He
and
used
Seth
to wrestle
Rollins.
as Marvelous Mark Calloway
Yep.
at
Right.
one point in time,
Yep.
yeah.
Glenn Jacobs is not the greatest name ever. But
No,
he's a
that
mayor
guy
now,
sounds like
so-
your accountant. Yeah.
Sounds like a mayor.
or your mayor.
Right.
What's
Like
the
Mick
other one?
Foley's name is Mick Foley. He is
Yep.
Michael Foley.
Like Steve Austin was Steve Williams, so
And he had
not
to,
much
yeah,
change.
because of Dr. Death, Steve Williams, he had to change it.
Ric Flair.
Richard Flair.
Yeah, Richard Flair. Steve Borden is Sting.
Yep.
Randy Poffo is Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
Who else did we have?
Scott Steiner really is Scott Steiner.
It's Scott Rex Steiner. It's like Rex Steiner. Or it's something slightly
But
different.
he and his brother that were both wrestlers, what, at Iowa?
No,
Michigan.
Michigan?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
they
was it.
trained in Toledo. Yeah. They trained in Toledo under the Great Sheik or something like that.
How about Sergeant Slaughter? Robert Remus.
That's pretty bad.
No. What was Lex Luger? He was Lawrence Wendell or Larry Bowl?
Like PFOEL or something? Yeah,
OHL? Yeah. Superfly Snuka is James Ryer.
How did Luger die? Drug overdose?
He's alive.
He's alive.
But
Miss
Miss Elizabeth died of overdose.
with him, right?
In his house.
Big Van Vader, Leon White.
Yep.
Jim Hellwig, we know who that is.
That's Warrior, right?
Right. Jake the Snake.
Is it Jake Roberts? It's not Jake Roberts.
It's Aurelian Smith. Yeah, he's probably got the weirdest.
Aurelian Smith?
That's a redneck hillbilly name right
Oh,
there.
he's.
How about AJ Styles? You'll love his first name.
What?
Alan Jones.
Oh, Jesus.
Kurt Hennig, we know who that is.
Yeah,
Mr. Perfect.
Philip Jack Brooks.
CM Punk.
Please tell me Arn Anderson is really Arn Anderson.
How about this? No, this. This wins. This is the winner. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
I don't even know.
Dick Blood.
Yep. Worst name.
Or best name.
It's Richard Blood, but Dick Blood.
Dick Blood.
No, I'm going by Steamboat.
Dick Blood.
I like the fact that his first name is Dick and his last name is Blood, and he's a wrestler, and he chooses to change his last name.
Steamboat?
Like, if you're going to be a wrestler, Blood is a badass last name. You already got that going.
Ricky
for you.
Blood. What's your real name? Dick Blood. He should have been Dick Blood. Whoa.
Look at that.
When he ties himself in there, that's awesome.
See, you guys weren't little kids. You guys are younger than me. I
And then he puts
remember
the
watching.
mandible claw in while choking.
Oh, God. You know what Trisha's real name is? Similar.
What, Trish Stratus?
Patricia.
Oh,
Strategious.
nah. I remember being a little kid, and wrestling used to be on Saturday mornings, and they'd show it with cartoons. And I remember watching the entire arena would go dark, and then all of a sudden you'd hear his music, and then he would breathe fire in the ring. And back then, that was such a big deal. Like now,
Wait, who was
would be
that?
Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat.
Dick
Okay.
Blood.
Yeah.
Dick Blood. Do you know?
But that was good theater when you were a kid. When you were a kid, Ricky Steamboat's entrance was like top 5.
Do you know Dusty Rhodes' real name?
Dusty Runnels, right?
Virgil.
Virgil Runnels, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about Roddy Piper? You remember his?
Something Brood or
Roderick Toombs.
Tombs. That was close. Tombs, Brood, something like that.
That sounds like an old man who doesn't want you to like step on his grass.
Don't go to Mr. Tombs' house and step on his lawn.
He's
He
one of
gives
the-
out Laffy Taffy every Halloween. That guy's a fucking creep.
share to the hand. He has one of the greatest movies with a cult following. They Live,
Oh yeah, I
Awesome
came here
movie.
to kick ass and chew gum.
and I'm all out of gum.
Yeah.
Awesome. movie.
Piper, by the way, the episode I wasn't on, Piper was my pick for the man who never had the strap and should have.
Yes, and Arn Anderson was up there too. He was in your top 3.
I can't hear. Do you guys ever watch Tosh.0?
Yeah.
Yes.
He calls out Arn Anderson all the time. He's
Yep.
like, Arn Anderson, son of a bitch. Every time I hear the name Arn Anderson, I immediately put son of a bitch after his name because of Daniel Tosh.
Well, Chris Jericho. You know his. His dad was a hockey player. Chris Irvine.
Chris Irvine, right? Yeah.
Arn Anderson. His real name is Martin Anthony Lundy.
Nope.
Arn Anderson is who he is.
Why would you change your name to Arn Anderson? I mean,
Well,
that
they
seems
don't
like such
pick
a
it.
normal guy name.
But they don't pick it.
I know, the
It comes-
promoters pick
the
it.
promoters,
The
yeah.
bookers, yeah.
Vince, like he's when he just looks at people, he comes up with a dumb. What was Stone Cold gonna be originally? We talked about this. He had some shitty, awful.
Wasn't he
names for
like
him.
Sterling Golden or something like that? Or was that was going to be Hawk at first?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
it was
can't.
something bad. Like
I can't
it was
remember
awful.
exactly what it was. Yeah, but it was from his like mom or something like that. Said your tea's gonna get stone cold, and that's when he got it from
Right.
there. I can't remember what it was before. I mean, he had the ringmaster. For
Yeah, like
fuck's
his
sake.
wife. No, his wife at the time was British,
Yeah, that's what
Right.
it was. Yeah,
and
his wife, not
she
his
told
mom.
him that his
Stone
tea was going to
Cold.
get Stone Cold. He's like, well, that's it. I'll be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
and we just had a big flip from Mankind on HBK.
Yeah, because his first stint in the WWE, he was a tag partner. He was not a solo performer, and it wasn't until he got over the WCW and he was really pissed about getting fired. And he'd play with like these little figures, and he'd make these
It was
little
EC,
plays.
yeah, ECW. It was after he got fired from Bischoff by FedEx. Yeah, and then he went to ECW and cut those great promos.
And he basically, that's where Stone Cold was born, was that character came from that.
Right.
And now we have Stone Cold E.T., which is the greatest
Stone
thing
Cold E.T. wants a cheeseburger.
Oh, God, that's great.
Stone Cold E.T.
When
And a
he
side
eats
of French fries.
When he eats his holiday donut in his car through his ET mask, I lose it every time.
It's so good.
Because the drive-thru people keep motioning him to come on, get the fuck out of here.
It's so good. So back to this card. Mark Henry beat Jerry Lawler by submission, 5 minutes. Undertaker Goldust. Goldust with Marlena, who was Terry Runnels, right?
Yep.
His wife
Yep.
in real life. Marlena, when you think of her, and we have a question later about that, like Mandy Rose is like Marlena now. So that was a final curtain match. Undertaker won that. And then, of course, we've got the Shawn Michaels match that we're going on to right now, which we'll keep covering as we continue on this card because this show is running longer than we thought. Oh, gosh. So, Jason Debate, he said, apparently Goldust had some work done and is now wrestling under the gimmick of Mandy Rose. Thoughts or comments? I don't understand what he's saying this for.
No, I don't understand the question.
Zero thoughts or comments. It's probably got to be some sort of joke or rib on this at some point.
I don't know.
It's still
I know
Goldust.
they were in a mixed tag team together, and he asked her out on a date or some garbage. Mandy Rose is attractive. I don't understand.
I mean, Goldust wore some attractive lingerie you'd probably be into. So
how old were
No.
you guys in 1996?
you're not into lingerie?
9.
You were 9?
Sounds about right.
No,
No,
with
you said
with
it.
gold dust in it.
I didn't say that. I said in attractive lingerie.
But Bear, how old
Alright.
were you in 96?
5.
5. Okay, so you don't remember this probably as well. Goldust used to make people incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
When he first came out, he played to that, it was the
He still does that.
androgynous, but at the
That wasn't
time,
big back
it was a
then.
very different society.
Yeah.
And in 1996, people were not comfortable with Goldust.
No, you're absolutely right. Because now they have somebody, his name, who is awesome, by the way, Velveteen Dream. We talk Ovaltine Dream, as you call him.
Ovaltine, yep.
Phenomenal. And he is the same type
of character.
Type of character, but not
as
that creepy.
flamboyant,
He's
right?
not that creepy. Like his tights at one of the he's in NXT and he's only 22 and he's great. And one of his pants, like he has spray painted on his pants, which was an awesome play. It said "Call me up, Vince," meaning call him or call him up to the main roster.
Right.
Great. And Triple H Paul said, "Go ahead," and he claimed, "Oh, I didn't know. He just did that." I'm like, dude, fuck you.
He's the one that made him do it.
He made him do it. An NXT takeover, which was great. And if you don't watch it, watch NXT. I tell him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had for their takeover pay-per-view more viewers than Survivor Series did
Wow.
on the same weekend,
Wow.
which doesn't surprise me. Their talent is incredible.
Oh,
And these kids are hungry. And they're not beat up yet.
And some
Yeah.
are indie guys, and they Tommaso Ciampa's the champ. He fought Velveteen Dream, and then Ricochet. We watched the War Games match.
Yep, the NXT
Ricochet
War
did
Games,
a
yep.
double backflip off the top rope onto about 10 guys. And now you just had
Little nip up.
the flip
Well-
up from Shawn Michaels.
NXT is probably the equivalent of what ECW was when it first started because WCW and WWE were seen as being mainstream marketed wrestling towards a very certain audience. And ECW came in and Paul Heyman just kind of said, you know what, fuck everybody else. We're going to do our own thing and it's going to be unique. And their fans were rabid. Rob Van Dam, I know most fans won't remember the way Rob Van Dam used to
You
wrestle.
remember what song he came out to originally in ECW?
Walk by Pantera.
Yeah. Or Taz. I mean, Taz in the ECW was a completely different wrestler than he was in WWE.
I agree. I think if Paul Heyman wasn't a scumbag and paid his guys, that they would have been bigger than WCW, and they would have been the ones competing with WWE. But
The only ones who kind of stayed true to themselves, I mean, well, there were a couple, but I mean, the Dudley Boys were essentially still the Dudley Boys when they came over.
Agreed.
But it was such this brand, and maybe
look at it
NXT
right
is
to
more
the
like
table.
that.
What a great spot.
His body, I don't get it. I don't get how you walk away
That's it.
from
He's
that.
dead.
This is amazing too. I mean, just right, from the top turnbuckle right through the table is Michael's, and look at Vince on there seeing if Shawn's okay.
And the tables are not gimmicked. I don't feel because all their equipment's on it. I mean, that's not light equipment. That's
No,
all,
not
and it's
then.
all on and it's all running.
Those are hard tables. I mean, that's like a picnic. Look at this. Watch this. I mean, they're going to show the replay. Just Michaels just switches into midair. I mean, that's back right off of a table. And you're right. There's no way that's gimmick. That's the table you would eat picnic at, when you had the family over for 4th of July. Those are the tables you set up. Those are hard as shit.
It's just now you got a 350-pound guy carrying a 280-pound guy. Or what was Michaels there? Probably
about 220.
220.
Yeah. He's about
Foley's every bit of 300.
Oh, super kick right off, right to the top
chair
rope.
off the face.
Impressive.
Jeez, this is insane. But the next one was, did you see the Seth Rollins opening a Raw?
You missed the Hulk.
Did I miss that?
Yeah,
Will Hulk return to TLC? Will anyone care if he returns? It seems that the current storyline plans to have a vacant GM of Raw spot. Hulk would be a good fit? ?
I don't know. Did you see? I mean, they
Vader
completely
coming
wasted
in.
him at Crown Jewel. He was at the beginning, and then that was it.
Well, there was a point behind that, though. The Prince of Saudi Arabia is a big 80s nostalgia guy, and Hulk Hogan, they just brought him back essentially that week because Daniel Bryan wasn't going to do it, but that was more for homophobia type reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's against what they say about homophobia.
Paul Bearer with the urn to the back of the head.
And then who else didn't? Cena didn't go. Yeah, for the same type of reasons.
Yep.
The Bella Men.
Oh, here comes
But those guys have the
Beat
power
Vader.
to say no. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Bryan and
My
John
dad's favorite
Cena
wrestler,
can
by the
say,
way.
I'm not going to an event.
Right.
Because they're high enough in the company where they can. A lot of these mid-card and low-card wrestlers, they have to go, no matter your politics of the Middle East.
Right.
Yep.
The urn.
But to be honest with you, I think that would be if they had to push to
Holding the
get.
urn upside down.
If he is, but if you had, he's getting the mandible claw ready. If you had to get a GM in there, if Corbin loses, I mean, why not Hulk Hogan? You're going to bring in ratings every week just from that name.
Hogan, I agree.
I can see it.
I could see it happening. Mandible
Certainly see
claw.
it. Mandible claw coming down. All right, go to your Seth Rollins one now.
Yeah, I agree with Hulk, though. Seth Rollins opening a Raw. This is
Talked about this a little bit.
this is what I took from his scripted words. We, the WWE, understands that Raw is complete trash, and we were working to make it better. But until then, sorry about the horrible programming. Did you guys hear the same thing? I listened to it. Yes, it's trash. They basically acknowledged it's trash, and it's gonna be trash.
Knock Undertaker out of the casket.
It's gonna be trash until Triple H takes over. Honestly,
I agree.
How did he get in the casket?
Exactly.
under
mystery.
He came from under the ring.
Don't ruin it. It's like Santa. Don't
I
ruin
understand that, but I mean,
it. You got to think too. He wrestled earlier, so how did he get under the ring?
right.
And
Like
a trap
he
door.
was literally the match before this one.
Yeah, he was under there then.
So he went under the ring
They
immediately
go to the
following
black
his
spot,
match.
do the whole thing, and then went back under.
That guy's been chilling under the ring for the last half hour.
It's like, did you ever see that? Like Hornswoggle, I watch some of this stuff. They do that. I can't remember what show it is, but he's like, dicks are cool. And he's like, Mark Carano, and he said, dick. He left me. He's like, is that because he left you under the ring one time? And he said, yes.
That's
so
good.
Michaels won?
Yep.
Count out?
Count out DQ, something like that. Who knows?
That's bullshit. Foley had the mandible claw. He had choked him out. He was done.
But why Jeremy wanted us to watch this, I think, is because it's amazing.
Yeah,
Mick Foley's amazing.
I'm more impressed too that Taker would have to get in there by climbing under the ring up the casket to lay in there correctly.
Right.
Like that's crazy. That's hard to do to position yourself in a casket like that.
I agree. And
I'm not a huge Michaels fan. Like, and I respect
He
his
was my
career.
favorite.
I know he was.
Yeah.
I respect his career, but I don't feel like he took the. I feel like he exploited his position in the company.
Oh, he did.
To get what he wanted.
And he
whereas
admits that.
a guy like Mick Foley just had to bust his ass,
Yep.
and really just had to take a beating every fucking week.
And
But
that's the
I
problem.
gotta give
Foley
him credit.
Didn't have the body, didn't have the look.
But I got to give him credit because they had several guys. Like Brett was there until a year after this. You had Brett. You had guys that could be top guys, and he worked for it because he was there in the late '80s. He was in the Rockers, and then he worked his ass off for it too. And he got there.
Yep.
And then he basically, he knew he was hot shit. But Vince could have told him to fuck off at any
did
time.
quite a bit.
And he did.
He did.
But he knew. But Shawn stayed there. He was the guy that did not leave to go to WCW. He was true to Vince, and he still is to this day.
Yep.
And he just came out of retirement, like we know, and he did it more for his friend, and he got paid, bank for it. So they talk about.
He's showing his ass tattoo.
Will he come out of WrestleMania? There's talk of it. He might come out. They're saying he would fight Daniel Bryan. is what's talked about right now.
Anybody care?
No, not now, because they're saying AJ Styles might fight Orton. I'm like, way to waste AJ Styles.
All right, let's get through these questions.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
the match is over. We've already
All right,
way over where we need to be.
Seth Rollins also went on a rant about Brock and how he doesn't make appearances or wrestle. The crowd was very much into hearing about Brock not working and was in agreement with Seth. I'm thinking WWE is smart by going with Brock's schedule. Everyone wants to see him, so why not only book Brock on pay-per-views? Seems like brilliant business strategy to me. Perhaps they should schedule other talent the same way. Your thoughts, same subject. When is OTL Sports Podcast Wrestling Edition going to have a pay-per-view? Perhaps Brandon will make an appearance if you schedule a pay-per-view.
So is he comparing Brandon to Brock Lesnar? That's
Yeah,
what
we
it
can call him
sounds like,
Brock.
right?
Yeah, let's call him Brock.
Call him Brock?
They both weigh about the same, right?
Yeah. Well,
Just-
no, Brandon's probably a little more.
Just different body types.
Yeah.
Just in different places. Yeah.
He's still
Okay, so he is no longer Brandon, he's Brock.
Brock.
Okay, so I don't know. I feel like that's what WCW did a lot. That's why they went under, because they had their stars not come to Nitro and not come to Thunder, and they'd show up on pay-per-views and there'd be boring matches. There's no storyline, so I don't totally agree with that.
I'm half and half with it. Brock, I think it's getting old now. It's happened for so long. I think it's getting old with Brock. I think it's pissing people off. Like,
They just don't have the title on it.
as a
They're gonna do
fan,
that.
you are wasting all this talent on Raw, who want the title,
Yep.
and the only reason they give it to Brock's because Roman's gone. It's like, you got to have another guy there. You got Finn Balor there, who had it before he got hurt. You got Seth Rollins there, and maybe they're saving Seth to beat Brock at Mania
Possible.
to put the title on him. I could see that. We'll see. So, and as far as going to have a pay-per-view, we're going to sponsor a bowl game. I guess we'll sponsor a pay-per-view while we're at it.
What would our you know what? I want a follow-up question from Jason on this. What would the pay-per-view consist of? I want to know that. That's what I want to know. If we had to do a pay-per-view, what the hell are we going to do?
Call it Family Jewels.
Sponsored by Over the Grown Ups podcast.
We'd get 8 viewers.
Probably. And so you guys have your picks in for the match victors, but what are your picks for wrestlers being legit hurt during TLC? So going back up to the card, the girls, I think, get hurt.
They probably always do.
I think Rey Mysterio gets hurt. He's always hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's legit. Leo
mean-
Rush is going to get hurt because he's going to take a guitar from Elias.
Braun, I mean,
He's already hurt.
I'm saying he's coming back from injury, so it's very possible.
Over under 3. 3 people.
Ugh. I go under, but I say 2.
2. That's what I was going to say. You? How many people get hurt?
Let's say 2.
All right, we're all agreeing on 2.
Fair.
Next, perfect discussion with Jeremy. What is your favorite submission hold?
This is an unpopular decision. The cripple or crossface. Has nothing to do with Benoit or that. I think it's a great move. I always like the cripple or crossface. One of my favorites.
Have you guys have, I'm assuming at some point in time, done some of these with your friends?
Of course.
Yes.
Right. Sharpshooter is fucking
Well,
brutal.
now wait a minute. We do not call it the sharpshooter on this show. It is called the Scorpion Deathlock. No one here likes Bret Hart. Brandon's not here. Fuck Bret Hart. It's Sting. It's the Scorpion Deathlock.
Sharpshooter or the figure 4 leg lock is
Yes.
ridiculously
And it
painful.
hurts. And
it
if you
hurts
reverse
so
it,
bad.
have you ever reversed it?
No.
When you reverse it, it does hurt the other person.
I've been put in a Boston Crab by a man much larger than me before. About made me cry. Bad. That hurt too. Not the best.
Yeah, and
Freaking sucks.
I was gonna say the figure 4 or the Scorpion Deathlock. Favorite submission. Jeremy's was always probably Bob Backlund's crossface chicken wing or the $1 Million Dream. Most painful. Well, he's been into the figure
the
4,
$1 Million Dream.
and it's hard to imagine many more painful than the figure 4.
Yeah, Walls of Jericho, figure
So-
4.
Yep,
What-
and that's a Boston Crab. You know, Walls
Right.
of Jericho. Yeah, the
Just
figure.
more standing up, yeah.
Yeah. And the Walls is big. He also said he liked the full Nelson too. It's old school move, and liked when the Master Lock brought
I
it
was
back.
just going to ask that. The Master Lock?
And he said he would put his brother in lat move a lot. So that was pretty good.
Full Nelson's a great move
Yes.
because they can't do anything. You're completely shut down from
Agreed.
using your arms. Yeah.
Agreed. And so which move do you think would hurt the most? We kind of said that. I think figure 4.
Yeah, I'd
Are
say
we going with
done.
submissions that hurt the most, or what move in
Submission.
general?
Yeah,
hurt
because
the
this
most?
is based on submissions.
Because I'm definitely thinking a 5-star frog splash hurts more than anything.
Well, Grayson gives me the froggy splash off the couch. That's what he calls it. We named it the froggy splash.
I mean,
I
that
have to
shit-
put a pillow on because this little 50-pound kid's going to kill me from 10 feet away.
Who used to headbutt people in their junk from the top rope? I forget.
Oh, that's Devon.
Dudley
yeah,
said.
okay, that hurts the most. Figure 4 leg lock second for me.
Fair.
Have you taken a lot of headshots to the nuts?
No, I just know that if you're going to dive at my nuts from the top rope, a good 12 feet away, and you weigh every bit of 300 pounds, that's the move that's going to suck the most.
I agree. So the last thing we have here to end the show is the top 3 Dwayne Johnson movies. By the way, the name of this episode is Dick Blood.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
That's the name of the pay-per-view, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna call Devon up. You gonna show up, Ryan?
It's like in your house, Dick Blood 3.
Dick blood in your house.
Nobody wants that. Ugh.
Oh my gosh. Top 3 Dwayne Johnson movies. Did anybody have honorable mention?
No.
No.
I did.
The Tooth Fairy.
No, he had. So this year he had Rampage and Skyscraper and Fighting with My Family and Hobbs and Shaw come out next year. Jungle Cruise and Boss Baby 2 in 2020. Honorable mention, the whole Fast and Furious series for me because he's just great in it, and Faster is honorable mention. So 3.
Walking Tall.
Pain and Gain.
3 is Central Intelligence. 2.
Pain and Gain. Love that movie.
The Rundown.
Pain and Gain for me. 1.
This is a tough one for me. He barely was in it, and it was the other guys.
That's great.
With
With Will Ferrell
he
and
cameoed
Mark
in
Wahlberg.
the first 10 minutes of it. So does that count?
With Sam Jackson, they jump off the building.
Yeah,
No,
you
not
got
I'll
it.
count that.
I like the Rundown. The Rundown is really good.
Yeah, Rundown for me is number 1.
This is not going to be popular at this table, but it shows off just what a treasure and a talent he is. Moana.
I haven't seen it, to be honest with you, and I'm not against
He
it. I just
sings.
haven't
It's
seen
great.
it.
He sings.
You're welcome.
He's funny. He is goddamn enjoyable. He is just, and it's I don't know. There's a charm to him in pretty much any movie that he's in,
Right.
but it's doubled as he's this animated fat Samoan guy who looks a lot like Rikishi, his cousin, by the way.
Right.
I'll have to see that one. That'll
You
be
have
a
to
good
see
one.
it.
Yes, and so as we run through and thank our sponsors, you want to thank them for us?
Sure. All Wear Sports, the OG, Crandall's Quality Lawn Care, Cassandra at PNC. Please see her, get that credit score up, or just help her with your banking needs. Oh, Ben at Charlie's Dodge, and I always forget the people at Verizon.
Oh, Tim and Stephanie.
Tim and Stephanie at Verizon.
So,
I'm sorry, Tim and Stephanie.
And thank you to all the sponsors, and sorry to those people wherever you said Albuquerque. Can't help them out. And this Saturday morning, it's a great day. No Buckeyes football today.
Yeah, that's odd.
No shows for us to do. So
You should listen to the after this podcast, the Grown Ups on SoundCloud and Spotify. Start with episode 5.
Can I do that with my headphones in at the mall while I have to do my Christmas shopping?
You should. In fact, the 5 is the toy episode.
Yes,
Okay.
that is
Yeah.
a great one.
Yeah.
And you will like it. And they have a great song by Night Beast. It's called The Grown Up, right?
Yeah, they
By
wrote it
Night
just
Beast.
for us. Yeah,
And they're in out of Dayton.
Dayton's premier party band. Yeah,
Yes,
Okay.
and Wes, who does our stuff. We went to school with Wes. Great guy, love him. Thank you to him as well. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Don't forget we have WrestleMania 23 next week.
Don't get your dick blood on me.
Dick blood in your house.